Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And today, we're going to have a little coffee with Crystal. I have a few things to just share and chat with you guys about. I'm going to talk about fall. I'm going to talk about fall cooking, baking, soups, whatnot. I'm also going to talk about peace and finding peace in our life and peace in our home. So, ladies, grab your cup of coffee and let's chat. I can't believe I woke up this morning to some absolutely wonderful cool weather. It's not technically fall yet, but we're getting very close, and I looked outside and it had rained last night and the clouds have rolled in, and it just made me so happy. However, I woke up and it was cold in the house. We still had windows open and all that, and I was like, oh, so I got a long sleeve t-shirt on. I put a flannel shirt on. I was like, I need to warm up. Even put my slippers and some socks on, and yeah, I just felt like I needed to warm up here. But what a wonderful feeling, and it just brings all those amazing fall vibes into my day today, and I am loving it. I'm not sure how long it will last. Sometimes around here we can kind of slip into those cold days, and then summer still makes its last appearances. We get a little bit more sun, warm up, but the days, because they're getting shorter, the mornings and the evenings are definitely feeling a lot like fall. So how are you ladies all doing? I hope that everybody is enjoying this season and that you're also starting to feel a little bit of fall-like weather in your area. Of course, being up here in the Pacific Northwest, we're going to definitely feel it before all you southern ladies do. And especially, I think my daughter was still in the hundreds down in Arizona, and my Sacramento daughters are still very warm. But, those days are coming. So is it looking like fall yet in your area? I think I asked that in a couple videos back, but, a couple weeks makes a big difference. It was really nice because this morning I went and just opened up all my curtains around the house. I've had them closed just to keep the intensity of the sun out to help the house stay cool. And it felt good this morning just to open everything up and just let that light shine in. I'm really enjoying, as I get older, each season. I used to have the seasons that I just dislike so much, like winter. It's still not my favorite season, but I've learned to take the good in every season that I have and to learn to just focus on that and to just enjoy that. And that is the case with fall. I always used to kind of look at fall with some dread because that meant winter was coming, and then one year I was like, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to embrace each season and enjoy it to its fullest. I know a lot of people love fall. And so I've had to, kind of come up, years ago, came up with my list. What are the things that I love about fall? And of course, things like, flannel shirts, warmer clothes, pots of soup, hot drinks, the list goes on like that. So I was curious from you ladies, do you like fall? Is it one of your favorite seasons? And if you do, tell me the things that you enjoy about fall the most. I need to go and get my fall decorations out. I haven't even done that yet. I don't have a lot. I keep it pretty minimalistic, as I do a lot of things in my home. But I do have a few, and I'd like to set them out, and so I'm going to be doing that here soon. I figure I will at least wait until it's actually fall, which I think is September 22nd this year. Okay, let's move on to the kitchen. What kind of things have you ladies been cooking up in your kitchen lately? Have you been doing any baking or food prepping or canning? I know it could be canning season for a lot of you ladies. What kind of things are you doing? I did get my apple pies for the freezer made. I had talked about that last week in my video because I had made some muffins and some applesauce. I got that canned. I had done that from our old apple tree, but I still had a good amount of apples left from the bucket that my husband had picked. And I went ahead and made that into 5 apple pies that I popped into the freezer. I have done a short video on that if you want to look at that, and I put my recipes and all that in that short video. I can post it here, and I'll leave it below in the description box too in case you want to go look at that. But that, I did that last week, and otherwise we were still, temperatures in the 80s, mid 80s, lower 90s. I think that's why this morning felt so cold, because we're like now in the 60s, and I think we were actually 54, 55 last night, and so that's like a huge difference, and suddenly I'm like, oh. Anyway, so because of that, I still hadn't been doing a whole lot of baking in my kitchen, just trying to keep the temps down inside. Still doing a lot of things, grilling burgers on the barbecue, or making ham sandwiches and potato salad and, things like that. So super easy dinner type things. But otherwise, no baking. And I would really like to get back to that now, of course, with this cool weather. It's like, yes, all right. I still have, just because my husband had picked up a few more apples, it's like I probably have enough to make those apple cinnamon muffins again, and I might do that because those were really, really tasty. And of course, this conversation kind of just rolls right into the typical what is for dinner tonight? What are you having for dinner tonight? What are you making? Let me know down in the comments. You know how much I love it when you guys share what you're cooking up in your kitchen, what you're having for dinner. Let's be an inspiration to each other and encourage each other to get into that kitchen and, make some delicious food and enjoy that aspect of homemaking. Tonight, we are having leftovers, beef stroganoff. I don't think I have enough roasted vegetables. That's what I served with it last night. So I'll probably throw a salad together to go with that, just something quick. But last night I pulled up 2 jars of my own home canned beef stroganoff, and I turned that into dinner, which was very quick and very easy. And I just love having those meals in a jar, ready to go, almost ready to go. I had to do a few things to get this one ready, but not much. And if you didn't see that video, because I think I posted it probably in January, about winter canning, and did a few different types of meals in a jar, and I can post it here, and again I can put it down in the description box too if you'd like to go see that. If you can and you would like to have some ready to go meals on your shelf, you might really enjoy this beef stroganoff. I know we have. Let me show you what I did and how I did it. I started off with 2 jars of my home canned beef stroganoff. I also added in some extra onions and mushrooms. This is totally optional. I just had some in the refrigerator that needed to be used up. Once I got those all softened and I seasoned them a little bit with salt and garlic, I went ahead and opened my jars and poured them in. Now each jar does have mushrooms and onions already in it. While I waited for that to heat up, I took a tray of frozen vegetables, put those into the oven to roast, added flour to my beef stroganoff, got my egg noodles cooking, and let the beef stroganoff come to a boil and thicken up. Turn off the heat, add in sour cream as much as desired, and that's really it. Once everything was done, I plated up noodles first, stroganoff on top, and the roasted veggies, and it made for a very delicious dinner. One of the other things that I love about fall time is making soup. Now, trust me, I have made soup year-round, even in the middle of summer. It doesn't have to be fall, or soups aren't just for one season. But there's something about soup and it being that, just giving you that cozy feel and warming up the house and bringing all kinds of wonderful aromas, the food, the smell. It's just, I don't know, it just makes the word cozy. It's like the definition for me of the word cozy. So I literally already have a list of soups that I plan to make, and my list has gotten so long that I think I'll be making soup way into spring here. I make a pot of soup and it can take hubby and I at least a couple days to get through it. But anyway, I am going to start here probably tomorrow with taco soup. But I'm just curious, of course, about your favorite soups. What kind of soups do you like making soups during the fall? If so, what kind are your favorite? I was just going to name you a couple that I have on my list here. Chicken noodle soup, potato sausage chowder, chili. Is that a soup? I don't know, but I do like making it. One of my other ones is cabbage roll soup, which if you're familiar with like the cabbage roll in a bowl, I just kind of turn that into a soup. And it has always been one of my family's most favorite soups. So that is on there. Some broccoli cheese soup, split pea soup. Anyway, you get the idea. Let me know some of your favorite soups. This time of year, it can just seem so chaotic. It's that every 4-year cycle. So without having to say what it is, I think you all know what that is. And it's like there is so much chaos, just mentally that can come in this time of year, and it gets really draining. And there's also other turmoils that can be going on in our life, whether it's family issues, maybe it's job issues, maybe it is health issues, and it's just all a lot. It causes a lot of anxiety. And I think that it's important for us as homemakers and the ones in charge of our homes to try very hard, make it the focus and make it the goal to keep your home peaceful. And that first starts with bringing that peace into your own life, into your own self. Jesus talks about peace I give you, not the world's peace, but my peace. And I think that that's what we need to start focusing on first before we can start creating a peaceful home. And obviously things like candles burning and flowers and nice smells and all those create peace. But if we're not at peace in our heart and we are dealing with things, it's going to have an effect on our home and anybody that comes into our home. I have shared from this little book before, 1 Minute Inspirations. It's just a tiny little book from Elizabeth George. 1 Minute Inspirations for Women, it says. And I always, I'll put it on the shelf and then all of a sudden pull it out one day and just start reading here and there. So every one of these is encouraging in this little book. I will have to say that. And it was interesting because peace was what I had been thinking on my mind to share with you guys about. And I was just thumbing through this little book yesterday and I came across this and I would really like to read it to you. Okay, it's very short, so I'm just going to quickly read the gist of this one. And it says, experience God's peace. God provides real peace for us, and that includes you. Even if you have a screaming baby, a high-stress job, or are knee-deep in troubles. You may not be feeling much like a woman after God's own heart, but John 16:33 records Jesus saying that even though in this world you will have tribulation, you also have God's perfect peace in every circumstance of your life. So even if at this moment you aren't able to fully appreciate the truth of God's peace, it's there and it will make itself apparent. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, be steadfast, immovable, and always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. I think that just really hit the spot of what I was wanting to convey to everybody this morning, is that while outside circumstances may be difficult, we can have that peace of God in our heart. We can choose to create or not necessarily always create, because obviously sometimes the situations that happen to us are not our fault. They're nothing to do with us, but we get pulled into them. And we can choose to build that up and make it, huge, or we can choose to seek out after God's peace and to lower how we respond to things. I think that has a lot to do right off the bat with that experiencing God's peace. To really stop and think and understand that peace that comes from God. I wrote down a couple scripture verses that I wanted to share with you. One of them comes from Romans 14:19, and it says, "Therefore, let us pursue the things which make for peace, and the things by which one may edify another," or build up another. When we respond to the outside world and the outside things, are we responding in a way that is edifying and building up others around us, or are we just adding to the chaos and confusion? I've talked a lot on my channel about being wise women building our homes, and I think this verse from Proverbs 24:3 definitely speaks to that. It says, "By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established." So let's take that godly wisdom that he's giving us concerning, in this situation, concerning peace, apply it to our hearts, and apply it to our lives and our home. And Romans 12:18 also says, "If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men." There are things, like I said, that are going to be outside your control, but you have the choice on how you respond and how you allow that to affect you. And your job in your home and in your life is to live at peace as much as possible, and as much as it depends on you. You are called by the Lord to live at peace. It is my hope that by talking about peace, that we can all pray for that peace in our heart, and then ultimately in our life, and how it affects the lives of those around us, to pray for peace and to just focus on living that peaceful life that God has called us to live, despite the issues and despite the chaos that might be going on around us. We can choose to focus on our homes and to focus on the tasks, the daily tasks that the Lord has set before us, and to do those with a heart of peace that really only can come from Jesus and from a relationship with Jesus. He will give you that peace. It's a promise. He says he will. So pray, seek that, and have a peaceful home. In any case, I have my list of things that I need to get to and move on with my day. I have so enjoyed having my cup of coffee here with you guys this morning. It is one of the highlights of all the videos that I do. It is one of the highlights because I so much enjoy all the interaction that comes in. So please do make sure that you leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you've been cooking. Let me know if you are new and have not chimed in and introduced yourself. Everyone is welcome, and I would love to meet you all. Okay, I hope you ladies all have an amazing day today, a blessed weekend, a blessed week ahead, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.